Hello everyone, it's me, Aqua, and today I thought I would do a quick review of Miles Morales from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I am so excited for this figure. I've had him for a while and really needed to review him for a while. He is actually from one of my probably favorite movies that has come out recently. It is really, really good, and I can't wait for the sequel that's coming out really soon. So I thought I'd open him for you all. It's a race against the sun and hoping that we don't run out of light. But this box, so before I actually open him, let's look at the box real quick. He's kind of covered up. And I did get the DX version because, of course, I did. So the box is one of the prettiest Nendoroid boxes I think I have seen in a while. I just love the city in the background of this box. I think it's so intricate and beautiful. The poses with the circles stand out nicely on it, but just the light, it looks like the movie. It looks like any of these poses could be a scene from the movie. I love the lighting with on this particular picture of a pose. Just really cool. So, let's go ahead and open it. I also love that the cityscape is like blue and pink, or blue and red, just like Spider-Man. So, oh wow, okay. I'm actually going to take this piece out as well, because that cityscape on the inside of the box with the cars, it looks like a scene from Spider-Verse. That is beautiful. That's insane. I love how the lights over here are like that pointillism, which is really big in Into the Spider-Verse, and just, it makes it look so comic booky. Oh, so cool. So I'm going to put these aside somewhere safe. And a big part of the reason why I got this DX figure, you can probably notice it now, it comes with two figures with it. Like, granted, I know, I don't know, it just, I know that they're, like, technically all the same, like, all his outfit, but this is literally two figures. So I'm going to go ahead and take a moment, take the plastic off, and I'll show you everything that he comes with real quick. So I am still unwrapping this figure, but I just wanted to show you something. I took off the head to get the plastic out, and look, this is actually two ball joints right next to each other inside that head. That's really cool. I really am curious to see like what can be done with it, but I think probably just a lot of cool things can be done because of that double joint. But I just wanted to point that out because I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in a Nendoroid, and I am just really curious to see what kind of poses are possible because of this double joint. I'm going to go ahead and put that back in off camera. So let's do a quick review of everything Miles comes with. He comes with his spider suit and underneath casual outfits, and just one on this cool hood, adorable hood, and just one faceplate. Now, the one thing that I will mention about this, is that the eyes actually pop out. And I think that is supposed to be, I bet that's like the other Spider-Man, this is the only one I have, where the eyes pop out so you can give it different expressions. The one thing that kind of disappoints me about that whole mechanic is that these are actually the only eyes that will pop out that you can use like that. You cannot pop, like those aren't eyes, this is obviously too small, so these are actually the only eyes that you can do that with. He also comes with his face and hair and just the spider suit, so you have two whole separate outfit options. You have essentially a hat, so Miles can wear this on his head with his hair, like he's pulling back the spider mask. Very cute. You have the spider mask as if he's taken it off and it's holding it. Also very cute. You have 3 alternate hand parts, which is like this one, and 2 like spider hands. You have a back of the head that matches with this faceplate. An alternate hood version, so you can put that hood on this so he doesn't necessarily have his hood up. And you have this cool spider like webbing that is like shooting out at something. I am still really excited about this Nendoroid, but I will say I'm a little disappointed that there's only really 2 faceplate options, and that only one of the faceplate options is like his face. That just feels, I guess, a little disappointing to me. I could see that on the box, but you know, I just kind of wish there were more options, because Miles is such a cool character and deserves so much more, and a very expressive character, and therefore deserves more. I haven't looked at the other Nendoroids. I really would love to see an alternate faceplate for him. The other thing is, he's black. I'm not going to be able to use any of my Nendoroid More faces on him because most of my Nendoroid More faces are for pale people. I guess if I had any gripes, it's that he needs more expressions. He's a really expressive guy. He deserves to have more faceplates. Oops. He deserves to have more faceplates, even if it's more in his spider suit. He just deserves to have more, and that is the one thing that's a little disappointing about this. On the other hand, this is one of those, action Nendoroids, so as you can see, I can really, like, move his body any which way, and, like, he doesn't need extra arm pieces to be able to do some funky stuff, and there's, like, it's not really limited how many, poses you can do with him, especially with having basically his 2 main outfits in the movie available to you, which is pretty nice. So you can kind of, you can be very creative with this figure, which is a nice touch, despite my gripe about the lack of faceplates. I just don't think it's fair. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into some poses. So I am already excited about the ranges of poses. So I started with this pose off the box, and I mean, like, you can really put his kind of limbs in any which way. You can face his head, which is, I think, one of the nice things about that double ball joint. You can kind of face his head any which way. Also, his short hair kind of allows for that. But it looks really cute. I do like this pose, a lot more than I thought I would. I didn't think I would like the looseness of, I guess, of this hood, the Spider-Man hood. But, you know, I think it fits. So, probably not my favorite pose, but definitely cute, and I like how it shows off a range of motion. I mean, I really could put his legs in any particular position, his arms. They're very versatile, but I just like, you know, it's cool. Also, another thing I realized is that this body has open hands, this body had closed hands, and then we also get the Spider-Man hands and a grippy hand. Very cool. So this pose definitely makes use of that double ball joint. It's really obvious looking from below, but head on, that's really cool. That's something that you won't really be able to see in most Nendoroids. Like, he can completely turn his head to be facing fully upwards in comparison to his body, so you can kind of see that body there. I tried to make the pose with the legs look really cool. Like a classic Spider-Man pose. It was I'm not gonna lie, pretty hard to get that pose with the feet working, but like the hands, I don't know. I think it looks really nice. It's cool from specific angles, like that angle or straight on, but if you look at it from below, like I'm looking at it right now, it looks kind of weird. But I definitely think it's worth it. I think that looking on your shelf, a Nendoroid that can pose like this, like a full Spider-Man, very cool. Actually, speaking of, I think I should do the classic Spider-Man pose with him as best I can. So, I don't know if you've seen, like, cosplayers do this pose, but they kind of, like, put their legs like that, and then they have their hand down in the middle. I will say, it is very hard. It is hard to get his hand to look like it's at the same level as his feet. But I think with a little finagling, you can get the right angle to look like it. I like his arm out, and this little hat, so cute. That works so well. It fits nicely over his head. You can put it in different ways too. Like if you want to see more of his hair, you can put it on like that, and it will still stay. That's pretty cool. You can put it head on. Anyway, very cute stuff. And then you can just like push it all back to a more normal way, tuck his head back in there. Very cute. Yeah, I'm enjoying kind of posing this guy. I think he'll be a lot of fun to display. Alright, full disclosure, the sun is rapidly setting, and I am having difficulty putting Miles' head back on his body. This double ball joint, while awesome for posing, is proving extremely difficult for actually putting things back together. So I think I'm just going to look at the other body, especially since my battery is also dying. I think I'm going to show you one more thing with this guy, and then pause it here and show you some more poses later. So I will be back. Alright, so really quickly with this guy, I love the fact that he's wearing sneakers. I think that's such a good touch. The jacket is really very cute, and honestly, those big Spider-Man eyes, adorable. So I could really pose him like simply walking and waving, like being the Spider-Man who everyone's friends with, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I could just have him like reaching up. You know, this really reminds me of the What's Up Danger scene. So the box has something where he's like reaching straight up, and I'm like trying to figure out how to do it. I just realized you turn his whole arm around, and then you can have it reach straight up in the air, and then he can like look up because of the double ball joints. That is so cool. And in fact, I like this not only for that, but because it reminds me of the What's Up Danger scene where he's like falling, which would also be, I love that scene, so much so that I like want to do like a sweater depicting that scene on the back or something. I think that would just be so cool. And I love that the Nendoroid can actually do basically a representation of that scene where he's jumping off and going past all of the different buildings. I just think that would be awesome. So now that you've seen that one, I'm going to pause this review and come back on a day where there is more light. So I'll see you very soon. Alright everyone, I'm back basically for part 2. It is actually months after I filmed the first part of this, and I have actually now seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It just came out like a couple days ago, and I watched it and I was filled with such energy to just keep going, so I thought I'd pick him up again. So, welcome to part 2. Alright, I'm gonna hold on to this to remind me what poses I haven't done yet. There's only a couple that I really wanted to show left, and the first one I think is gonna be... All you have to really do is take off the hood for this one, which makes it... Oh! And by all you have to do, I of course mean you have to do way more than just take off the hood. You know what I didn't double check? Hang on. So I actually just found it way easier to take this piece out when replacing the head on this, because I really didn't want to have to go through the frustration of not being able to put the double ball joint back in place. So I think from now on I'm just going to replace the head pieces and keep the double ball joints solidly in place. However, this is surprisingly frustrating to get it on right. Let's see. Okay. I think I got it. In his eye. This pose, on the box, he's kind of got his head turned, he's got his hand out, and he's like he's running away from something. Oh, that's really cute. So you can kind of like put him in any pose here. He's like looking back. He's got to get away from the danger. That looks really nice, and you can kind of like pose him any which way. And like, and it does look really nice with his hoodie. I don't know if I've done a pose like this yet, but I think I'm also going to have to see what this head looks like on the full spider suit. I just really love the details on it. The sneakers are so cute. It's very impressive how you still like see the drips from the like spray paint spider on his suit. It looks very nice, and the bagginess. I was a little worried about the bagginess of the hoodie with these joints, but actually it is surprisingly smooth. I think it looks baggy down here, and it doesn't. The joints themselves don't really take away from the effect, especially when you turn the arms in like that, so it hides it from the front. It looks really nice. Okay, I've discovered something else that I'm a little disappointed about that I didn't realize. There's actually no way to pair Miles's head with the hood, even though it would look so cute. Now, I get why they did this. It's because they needed to make the head look whole, so they needed to be able to fit the whole head in the hood. But I do wish there was an option for his little face to be in there. Oh well. But it's just not going to fit. I think even with the hairpiece. Yeah. Not going to happen. Oh well. I was hoping to be able to have like the hooded one over here and Miles's head face in it while I was reviewing the last piece, but I don't know. It takes away some of the versatility, but it's still it's a pretty versatile Nendoroid anyway. Alright, oh, that's the hairpiece. I'm going to go ahead and put this next pose together. In the process of getting the last pose, I discovered a really funny one. If you just want him to look kind of like dejected or looking down, when you take that like double ball joint and put it all the way back like that, you can make his head look down and he looks just so tired and done. I could see a really cute scene being set up with Nendoroids where like Peter's running ahead and Gwen's running ahead looking back and he's just like, oh, I'm so tired. That would be really fun. It does kind of make it, the versatility a little, I don't know. Again, still wish it would have been more versatile, but that's just a cute pose. Alright, now let's see if I can get it up so he looks a little more on the move. Yeah. Alright. Again, his head is kind of surprisingly far forward. Like this. Hang on, that could also just be a neck joint thing. Let me see if I can figure it out. Okay, so it was how I was putting it on. I guess I hadn't nestled like the back of the double peg in, but he can still look down pretty well. I think it was because of how I was putting it in, because now the back part of the joint is nestled more firmly in the back there. But he can still look down and look pretty dejected and look like he's trying to catch up but having a hard time to do so. It's pretty cute. I like it. It can still make a pretty cool scene. Alright, but on to the final pose that I was going to show. Alright, this is the last pose that I tried to make. I don't know how good of a job I did. So here's the box art. It was kind of difficult to position the legs themselves, but honestly, I think whatever way you do it, I think it'll be fine. I think it looks really cute. It did take me a minute to realize that this needed to be diagonal to fit in both of his hands, but it looks really good. I actually really like the spin on the web. It looks really nice. And it does look like a very action-y pose, especially like with the different ways you can position his head. You do kind of have to have the web off frame for it to look really nice, but yeah, I think that's really cute. And I like how the web is, again, curved at the bottom. It has spinning around the edge. It just kind of adds some nice detail. It position us a little closer so you can see the spin of the web. I think it looks really nice. Very fun. So here's the last kind of I'm just looking at him and rearranging his little poses. And this one kind of reminded me with his scrunched hand and then the arm at his hip. It reminded me of when he speaks in a really deep voice to his dad, so his dad won't recognize that he's Spider-Man. I just think that's really cute. Alright, so all in all, this is the whole figure, and I do think, looking at it and thinking about it, I would not recommend, if you're gonna get it, I would not recommend getting the regular standard version, because it only really comes with this guy, the hood, and this plate head. It does not come with all of this, and I think that takes away a lot of the versatility of it, unfortunately, because there's only 2 faceplates, and since there's only 2 of the little eyes, then there's only really 2 expressions you can give Miles, and even in the DX version. And while I love this character so much, and I don't regret getting this one at all, I still wish that there was more faceplates and opportunities for expression and posing with him. Definitely cute. I'm glad I got him, but I wish there were more expressions, especially because he's an expressive guy. Even in the mask, if there was a squinty eye version that you could just pop out the eyes, I think that would be better. And if there was a second faceplate for him, because Miles is just so cute and expressive, it's frustrating that there's only one faceplate for him, because there's so many expressions in the movie, and now that I've seen the second one as well, there's so many expressions of him in the movies. So all I can really hope for right now is, fingers crossed, that with the second one and eventually third one coming out, there will be another Miles, or a addition of faceplates, or if they release another Nendoroid of a different character, there's an extra faceplate with that. That's all I'm really hoping for, because I need more Miles in my life. Still very high quality, beautiful paint job. I don't know if I even mentioned it enough. The little splatter and the design of his suit, and impressively how they even shaped the head plate so that it continues this spider design on his head. It all looks really, really nice. I just, wish there was more, which I think is my theme for Nendoroids lately. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and this is Aqua signing out. Bye! And today I thought I would take a look at... There's a cat in my frame.